Hello.
Are you sitting on my lap
I am sitting on your lap to do this introduction.
while I eat nuts?
Yeah, this is how,
And you're wearing a D's Nuts shirt.
I'm wearing
There's a lot of nuts. There's a lot of nuts happening.
There are a lot of nuts. D's Nuts Do Yoga. Yes, we are currently, as we record this, we are currently in our Giving Tuesday launch. This shirt, D's Nuts Do Yoga, which, by the way, you can buy on our website, has a story that circles around family, which is actually the theme of today's episode. Because when we had the little mix-up we put out this shirt 3 years ago that was supposed to be a lotus flower that said "from the mud," and it went out saying "D's Nuts," but with the YFFR info on the back. And this happened. We found out this happened while we were in the hospital, and I was giving birth to Aurelia, so couldn't do much about it then. But anyway, so
But it's a good story.
Yeah, we repurposed it and we've reclaimed it. So I just got mine today. But yeah, so it is the holiday season. So whoop-de-doo. Lots of things happening.
Been listening to Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh my God, our daughter, she just wants to know about it. And I'm trying to tell her, hey, I'm not really into this naughty or nice thing. Like, Santa loves you regardless. She's not fazed by it. She's like, okay, whatever. And she's like, do you know who's naughty? Is Casey. Casey from her class.
If Casey's parents are listening.
Yeah, your kid needs to stop hitting. But do you know what helps kids not hit is yoga. So I actually spoke to Amanda Ellis. Amanda Ellis is a friend of YFFR.
Cool.
And she's part of Fire Family Collective. So if you are in a Fire Family, look up Fire Family Collective. It's like a little community where, you guys can, I'm part of it too. We can talk, we can, whatever. And
I've heard her voice via voice memo. That's
right. Because she and I send each other voice memos. But I said to her, I was like, girl, I need you to do this, the family course and tell me if it sucks. Be honest. Anyway, she said that her kid, she actually has a video of her kid watching it, and her kid gets, she quizzed him. I didn't even ask her to do this. She was like, what's the purpose of yoga? And he was like, to breathe? I don't know. Anyway, so she did great. And she did great with having them watch it, and said it worked really well. So, and I told her to give me the, honest feedback.
Yeah, totally. And it went well. It's going well.
It's going well. So we're in the middle of it now. But,
and this is one thing that I think people should hear, is that just because you're missing the challenge doesn't mean you've missed the course.
Oh no, the course is forever.
It's a family course that you can start tomorrow if you want to.
Yeah, you can start it whenever. Start it now. If you're a member of YFFR University, it is currently up and running and available. If you're not a member of YFFR University, which is how you access our courses, there are a couple of things you can do. Just make an account, and there's free resources. So if you just make an account, it's university.yogaforfirstresponders.org. You can also get to it from our website, yogaforfirstresponders.org. But then from there, you can do a monthly membership, an annual membership, or a forever membership. And right now, we still have some discount codes for the founder's rate for the forever membership.
Which is insane to me. It's $100.
I know, forever. I don't know why they're not gone yet, to be honest. I don't know how many are left, but grab one. So you sign up, you click on full access forever option for membership, and put in your code FIRST100, FIRST 100, and that will get you $100. You don't have to pay another cent for any ever for any and all upgrades. So, and revisions and new content and all of that stuff. So do that. That's how you access the course. The challenge part of it is just that, as a community, we're going through it at the exact same time. Sure. So we can talk about it, and we can, just go through it together. And I think it's nice for the holidays to have something that's family centric. And
yeah, I mean, we got a text message literally this morning from a police officer saying she's taught this to her kid and he used it.
Oh my God, that's
leading
right.
the Pledge of Allegiance in front of his whole school.
And he wasn't nervous because he did his yoga breaths. Like, come on, that's what it's all about. So that's like the tools that your kids can learn. But on top of it, with the parent being a first responder, then you guys have this shared language of building resilience, which is really cool. And that's the hope. That's the hope, is that it becomes processing stress, building resilience, enhancing performance becomes a family affair, and not just, not just for the first responder to do, and then doesn't have that like bridge to their family for it.
Makes sense.
So anyway, that's what we're going to talk to Amanda about today. And what else? We have any other biz to cover? I mean, D's Nuts do yoga. What else is there besides D's Nuts?
There's a lot coming out for 26. I mean, too much to cover here, but some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Let's see, our daughter turned 3.
I'm working on her birthday announcements now, and I can't figure out how to print 2 per page.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. She's having a kitty cat party. So I gave you a kitty party one time.
It's not what you think, people. I got a blanket with a cat.
No, it was what you think.
I got a blanket. I got a blanket with a cat on it.
Our cat, not just a cat. It was our cat's face.
But now we're gonna regift that blanket to Ray Dog.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. We'll regift it to her. She'll love it. So anyway, this is my first time doing her first party I had themed. It was around the world because she traveled so much, you guys. When she could travel for free on airlines, we took her everywhere. She was on 20 flights before she was 2 years old. And so I did, for her first birthday, I did like an around the world of every single place she had been, which was really cool.
That was neat.
And this theme is kitty cats. And so I'm just like, thank God for Amazon. I'm sorry. Say what you want about Amazon, but you are making my life better. Bezos, you're making it better. I know I'm going to get some hate for that. You know what I mean? So she turned 3. Christmas is up and running. I'm, according to Spotify, I'm 92 years old. Did you get your Spotify
How does
age?
that matter? No. How do you get that?
I don't know because all I listen to... Are you okay?
I just spit my nut.
Oh my God.
I'm in my cheek eating a nut.
Oh my God.
It's time to go, folks. We've gone down the hole. Goodbye.
Well, all I listen to is Taylor Swift and murder podcasts, and somehow that's 92 years old. All right, guys, I want you to enjoy my convo with Amanda and get on YFFR University. There's so many great tools. It's tools for life, dude. We're literally today I'm going to be filming a grief course. So it's not all sad, dude. It's like stuff about, performance and, all of that stuff as well is on there, and more and more and more, but it's like really just your toolbox for life. So go check it out. Bye. Welcome to Yoga for First Responders on Air, where we break down yoga, neuroscience, resilience, and public safety in a manner that's authentic, educational, and most importantly, entertaining and lighthearted. I'm YFFR's founder, Olivia Mead. As a yoga instructor and neuroscience enthusiast, I'm passionate about supporting first responders and anyone looking to improve their overall human performance. Each week, we'll dive into a new topic and often bring on expert guests to share their insights and experiences. But we'll also keep it real and share our own stories and struggles along the way. So whether you're a first responder or seeking to master the science of mental and physical resilience, this podcast is your ultimate guide to triumph over life's challenges with unbreakable strength and unwavering fortitude. By pressing play, your training has begun. Amanda, thank you. What?
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I think this is a really great intro to this episode, to just say like we had to delay this and reschedule it so many times because of just family chaos.
Yeah, it's real life. Like we don't know what's happening.
No, we don't know does anyone know what's going on like at all?
Never.
About anything?
Wait, first, are we allowed to curse? I want to like preface that.
Yes.
Okay. So we have this joke, John and I, like our friend told us this, and so now it's a his and mine joke, and we always say like, who's running this shit show? Like, it's
Anyone?
not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it is.
You know what I like when I say, you expect me, a former baby, to make decisions like this?
Yes, for sure. I'm constantly like, where is the adult here? Because I'm not old enough to do this.
No, I
Someone
am not old
else.
enough. I mean, I had my child at 40, which was basically a teenage pregnancy.
Yes. Yes, for
Like,
sure.
is everyone okay with this? Like,
No.
no, yeah. So good. We're in the same place with
Yeah.
that. So we make adjustments and we figure it out. And that's the whole like reason I wanted to have you on because we're launching, and the whole idea for launching this family course was because of you and the Fire Family Collective. And Joe had reached out to us about, doing something. And so I kind of created this idea. And so we're going to be gifting it to you guys as well on that platform. But it really, like, that's what kind of got me to get going to do this. Because
So exciting.
I've been asked to do it several times. I've given, in-service trainings and conference presentations for families, but a real like course in the sense of here's your protocol, here's your training. Because I think like it's a holistic, everyone's got to be on the same page resilience wise. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah. And that's I think one of the beautiful things about having conversations with you is like you so get it from multiple aspects of life, and you have the expertise to really dial in and create, like you said, a protocol to
yeah.
support us. And I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm so excited for you to go through it. So, again, by the time this comes out, we'll be, through week one. And week one of the course is education on what yoga is, what it's not, and also like what is happening in the brain and nervous system of someone who is in public safety. I mean, it just gets beat down all the time. And when they come home to their safe space, it doesn't feel like they can engage. And so it's so easily to be taken personally when it's not that. So the week one's all going to be about re-education. So we know why we're doing what we're doing and how it works. So you're already a yogi.
I barely scratch the surface. I'm barely, and I'm excited to be able to have the tools to like share with our kids. Our
Yes.
6-year-old is learning to be more mindful, and he likes, like, I have his own little account on our Peloton app, and he'll set up the yoga mat and like pick his little meditation or his yoga. And so to be able to kind of talk through it with a lens of like first responder for him,
Yeah.
I'm like very much looking forward to.
Well, in the lens, so you have a 6-year-old and then you have another child too,
4-year-old.
and a
Yeah.
4-year-old girl or boy.
Girl. So son is 6, daughter is 4.
Okay, what are their names?
Hudson is 6 and Harlow Ray is 4.
I love it. Okay. So what's cool about this too is like okay, so I had to take everything that I teach and like adjust it to kids language, which is not my expertise, but
Yeah.
I told you when we were texting, I tapped into Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
I was like, hey kids, like let me like figure this out. I know there was a little Blippy in there, like you said. Like, we never got into Blippy, but and we're definitely a Miss Rachel family. And so I was like, okay, so how can I translate this, to kids, like the same concepts I'm teaching first responders? And basically, I the videos say to them, hey, this is your superpower. Yoga
I
is your
love that.
superpower. And I think this is the change of mindset that I try to give to first responders too is so many people associate yoga with simply regulation, calming down, zenning out. It's actually a way to enhance performance, enhance your life. And so I think of my yoga training as not so I can chill, but so I can like be mentally sharp and have this mental advantage, this neurological and a physical advantage. And so I'm really teaching it to kids as here are your superpowers. You can breathe, you can move and get the energy out, and then you know how to stay super calm if people aren't calm, like if there's chaos around you. So that's how I'm sort of reframing it. So I'm really going to be curious how your kids respond to my videos.
I'm so excited. I personally, for me, like I said, baby yogi, yoga is so much harder than picking up dumbbells or lifting a barbell. And for me, like the mental strength it takes to hold poses and to work through things is so challenging. And I'm glad I've been able to tap back into it, in the past few years, becoming a mother. And I'm really excited to be able to do it with the kids, like you said, and especially like the transition home
Yeah.
from, firefighter coming home from work and just having that tool to support the kids, like you said, teach them it's their superpower. I love the way you're framing that.
Yeah. And also teaching them too, like speaking of coming home, I do a whole video like, hey, when your loved one comes home, they're may not be ready to play right now. And it's not, has nothing to do with you. Here's what's happening on the inside. So let's give them a moment. And what I'm hoping that the first responder will fill with that moment is breath work and regulation and transition. And then that is something that the family can do together
I
rather
love
than
that.
feeling like I just had this day that you don't understand and we're already coming at it at odds, you know?
Right.
So that's my hope. We'll see what happens. I'm planning to go through it with my daughter. So let's do a little background here. So you guys are
Yeah.
in California. Are you both from California? You
Yeah.
and your husband? Okay. So
Yep.
am I.
Yep.
Did you know that? I'm from the Bay.
I Yeah, so we lived in Sacramento area for 7 years, but John's originally from Santa Clarita and I grew up in Orange County. We live
Okay.
in Ventura now. So
Nice. Santa
beach
Clarita,
baby.
Clarita, like the TV show Santa Clarita, Clarita Diet.
Yes.
Great, great show, by the way. Okay. And so how long have you guys been married?
We are celebrating our 9 year anniversary, married this year, 16 years together.
Wow, nice.
I
And
don't feel old enough, like you said, we're like teenagers
oh,
having babies. Like,
yeah,
what?
exactly. Like, is everyone letting these high schoolers get married? That's li yes. And where did you guys meet?
We met in Irvine when we were in college, and that is a very interesting story for another day. But
Okay.
basically, we met multiple times before realizing that we had met each other.
Yeah.
And then I lived in like a big house. And so we hosted a lot. And at one of the parties we were hosting, he was there. And allegedly, I touched his booty. And so then he approached me.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't recall that part of the story, but the other two times, like we were introduced to each other, I remember that specifically. Anyways, went on a date after that, and the rest is history.
So, how did the conversation go? Like, did he go to college for like fire science or anything like that, or did that conversation come later?
Yeah, so his story is crazy, like a lot of first responder stories with education and whatnot. He went to UC Irvine, like I did for our freshman year. He deferred for a year, left and came up to San Luis Obispo area, got a job at Applebee's, and was taking fire science classes at Allen Hancock, and Cuesta, and then decided like he missed his friends, whatever. So he came back to Irvine area, was working for a private ambulance company there as an EMT and taking fire science classes at Santa Ana Community College, and then continued his route. So by the time I met him, he was already on that path and working private ambulance company, but hadn't done paramedic school or like basic fire academy yet. That came a few years into our
But you knew, but his
relationship.
goal was firefighter.
His goal was firefighter and or like PA school, something medicine, because he liked both. He liked the fire side of it, but he also really likes the medicine side of it.
Yeah, yeah. And so you knew what you were getting. I mean, maybe you didn't know the extent of it, but it's not like you got, because I know folks that like their partner had a whole career and then like, you know what, I want to be a firefighter now. And they're like, this is a whole new dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't have like a career change experience. I grew up with divorced parents and my dad traveled for work. So I told myself growing up, like, I will never be with someone who's gone. And lo and behold, I'm with someone who's gone all the time. But I actually really like it. It works like because I'm so independent and I grew up with that, like not having, I don't know, it like works for us and it's crazy.
I like my alone time like as well. Um, I'm good with alone time.
Yeah.
I'm good with just doing things the way I want it. We have a joke too in our house that Eric always startles me. And he's like, I'm in my own house. I'm existing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's so nice sometimes just to know that no one's gonna startle me.
Yes.
This,
Yeah.
okay, so very, very cool. And was there a moment where like in his career where you were like, okay, I thought I knew what this was, but this is sort of different or more lit.
Oh, I still feel like that. So
Okay.
we're 10 years into him being a full-on hired firefighter.
Yeah.
16 years he's been in EMS that I've known him. But like every step of the way, like when he went to paramedic school, I was like, I had no idea it was going to be like this. And I'm studying the flashcards with him. I'm on the floor doing BSI, scene safety, and like role playing with him, and like the same thing, like when he went through the fire academy, like all the things, like I'm cooking and helping prepare, like doing his laundry, crazy things. Like, why am I a 20-something-year-old girlfriend doing all this stuff? But like at the same time, like, this is his dream. I'm going to support it. And I don't want him to fail because then what does that look like?
Right.
And then kind of like, okay, I'm going to let off the gas a little bit and go back to getting my bachelor's because I'm not getting hired as a firefighter. So I'm going to keep working at private ambulance company, but go to school full time and commute 3 hours and just like all these crazy things, like literally every step of the way, even as a hired firefighter with the fire department in Sacramento and then us moving to Ventura, he was commuting 6 hours. So I have
Oh,
a 10-month-old baby and a 2-year-old, and my husband is driving 6 hours back and
oh
forth.
my God.
And you're like, when does this end? And then he's like, okay, now I'm with this new department. I'm back on probation.
Right.
And that again, you're like, now I thought it was hard the first time without kids. Now I'm doing it with a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old in a new place. I don't know anything. And then a year later, you're like, oh, I'm going to promote. And like, we're on the brink of divorce again. Like, what is happening? Like, I already thought we lived 10 times over the hardest experiences of our life. And here we go again.
You feel like, and again, first of all, we can edit anything out.
Oh,
So,
not all of this is shareable.
right. Okay. So, and anything that I keep asking, whatever, you
Yeah.
can, say that too. But like, now I lost my question, what I was going to say. Oh, yes. Okay. Did you feel or that you were supporting from the beginning that your part of this whole holistic life you were creating was not being considered?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like even from the employer, like even from the agency that was bringing him on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, from the very beginning, I obviously have immense gratitude for the fire department, and I'm not going to like dismiss that. However, from like the city perspective and the chief perspective, whatever, it's really hard. And I continuously say, like, can we just have a phone call with the wives and the city manager? Or, let's sit down and have coffee with the chief. Like I I really think that there's so many beautiful things and that they really do think of us as families and partners, but then there's a lot of things that are like, whoa, this is really hard. Did anyone think of us?
So if you were able to have that meeting with the chief or city manager, what would you want to say and what would you hope would get accomplished?
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, I think like one of my first things that I would hope would be thought of is just the impact of things that they ask their firefighters to do and how that translates to the families, right? Like in the station or in an email, whatever it is, you send this like, hey, can someone do this? And then a firefighter responds. There's so much fallout that happens to make that be able for that firefighter to say yes.
Yeah.
And it's not, maybe it is thought about, but it doesn't feel like it's thought about.
Mhm.
And I I think that that's something that I would like to have a deeper conversation about. And to like give you a short example of what I mean, like my husband is helping teach this class for the next 2 weeks, so Monday through Friday, and he's also going to be working his regular shift. So he's basically gone for 10 days, and a few of those days he'll be home at night for dinner. And I'm like, he's like, but isn't it great? I'm home for dinner. And I'm like, not really. Like for us, that's actually really hard. The kids are upset because,
Yeah.
yeah, they're not used to you just coming home for dinner. And then they get really upset that they really only got like an hour or two with you before bedtime. And then you're basically gone for 10 days instead of a couple. And the pay, honestly, isn't that much difference than if you would just work one extra day. Now, each week, you're working 3 extra days.
Yeah.
So it's actually a lot harder for me. But I get why you said yes. You want to teach. This is a great experience for you, all of those things. But like, again, in a simple email, like, hey, who wants to help instruct this? And my husband says yes, like, impact is a lot bigger.
Right.
Um, and again, it's like holiday time. So like, this isn't really the time you want, people to be gone longer. Um, but just like that's like a simple example of, you don't realize how big of an impact something like that is having on the family's life and the kids. And I'm thankful we don't have too many activities because the kids are younger, but I can only imagine people with their kids that are older and have way more activities, and the impact that has when their firefighters are gone like that.
Yeah, I think that's true that, and I'm thinking too, like, okay, so someone has a responsibility and it's to get someone to teach this class, and that's their view, right? Okay, so they put out that email, we need someone to help. And then when the person says, yes, I want to help, then well, I guess what I'm saying is at what point or whose responsibility is it to look at that holistic picture, right? Because, the person putting out the email is like, I don't know your life. Like if it's not good for you, then don't accept it.
Right.
And so, that person maybe needs to sit down with the spouse and the family. Let's look at our entire picture here. What is the speed? What's the fallout? Would I do this? What was I taught one time? This over, like, I'm not saying the right words, but you choose something over something else. It's basically the pros cons thing, or like even over. I'm going to choose this even over, right? And so you have to think about that. So if he really wants to promote, and if he does this, this, and this, it'll help. Okay, I'm going to choose that even over the disruption at home. Even I think if there's an acknowledgement of it first,
For
that,
sure.
yeah, so it's kind of like, okay, we need to have this holistic view. And that's the whole thing is I teach these tools, we teach these tools to first responders, super, super important. But if the family doesn't understand why they need to take 5 minutes to regulate or do these practices, I could definitely see where a spouse would be like, you've been gone and now you're going to do yoga. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we have
Yes.
to have this universal understanding and, so this holistic view of the schedule and the impact of different choices and the holistic view of what it means to be able to stay sustainable as
Right.
an individual and as a unit.
Right. I think it's like it's so layered and, like you said, holistic. Going back to your earlier question about, was there ever a moment you were like, this isn't what I expected?
Yeah.
I mean, that's another example. Like, I don't work full time anymore, and I cannot imagine families where their partner does work full time and then
Yeah.
their significant other is like, this is really important for me. I want to teach this class for 2 weeks. And then logistically figuring that out as the partner that's at home and balancing it all. And it's so different having kids versus not having kids. I didn't have anything I was balancing to figure out, right? I was like, okay, cool, more alone time. I'll call my girls.
Yeah.
But now with kids and the kids missing him, and like you said, then when he does come home, he's extra burnt out because now his brain's been working in a different way, teaching and being on teaching, and then being on his regular, station, and then going back to teaching again. Like he's extra on, and then he comes home. The kids are so excited to see him, and he's like, I need 10 minutes to do those yoga practices.
Right.
And I'm like, I might physically hurt you right now. Like,
Exactly.
no.
And that's my whole purpose with this is if it can be something that regulates, gives that buffer, but that also engages with the family. So it's not separate, it's bringing us together. Here are
Love
two
that.
worlds, and let's come to this thing that we don't have to even like talk. I have a hard time with talking. It really it really exhausts me. And so I need time to like not speak, after I give a presentation or teach or
For
what.
sure.
So it's like, okay, what's great about the yoga too is you don't need to talk. You don't need to
Yeah. And that, to answer your question again, like if I were to sit down with the city manager or the chief, one of my things I have said from the very beginning of John being in this world and me being a part of it is that, like, to have a checkout, like they can't just leave work and go back into their lives. You have whatever time on duty, you are still paid, and it can look whatever ways. Like you ran these types of calls, so you're mandated to speak to a therapist, or you didn't run these calls, so you need to get in the sauna for 10 minutes because you ran a fire and that's scientifically proven to detox from all the carcinogens, whatever it is, right? Like we see a report of the types of calls that you ran, and this is the checkout that you need for this day to be able to clock out. Like you cannot leave. We will not safely let you get in your car until you do these things to take care of yourself.
yes.
And that is something that I wish, for me, that is a love language that will show me you actually care about that firefighter and you actually care about that family. You're not just like, cutesy saying we care and
Oh, check
whatever.
the boxes of saying it. Oh yeah, that drives me nuts. It's
Yeah,
like the biggest pet peeve, but really the longevity aspect of it. And yeah, a recovery protocol that's part of your job. I mean, hello, like that's just so obvious to me. There is a CAD or a software for a CAD company. I'm forgetting the name. I think it's Mindbase. It's Mindbase. Anyway, we have some of our videos in there.
that's amazing.
Yeah, and basically when they run whatever call, it's a 3-minute regulation recovery that they have to do before they can hit back in service again.
Exactly. Like it's very simple. And I think it would be, I'm sure they could find scientific things to like make it, like this is tangible evidence, this supports it. And then you'll have less PTSD calls, you'll have less people calling out for mental health days, you'll have less all the other things, hopefully in theory, right? Because they're taking care of themselves and it translates to everything else.
Well, Amanda, we have those research studies. See, this is the thing that drives me nuts too, is that we have two research studies that says our protocol lowers post-traumatic stress symptoms in first responders and prevents post-traumatic stress in active duty first responders. I show this to folks and I should be a billionaire. I should really be a billionaire, And it's like, so I'm showing this. So like why, that's a whole other tangent because it's like when you have the data and you still aren't totally embracing it, that's like a whole
Yeah.
thing. It's a soft science. And again, people have their own like lane of what they're looking in and pressures. And so I can't understand when it's not part of their job to think about the longevity of every firefighter.
Yeah.
I want it to be the city's job. I want it to be the agency's job, but until it is, it's really got to be the individual and the family's job. And you
Right.
have to really discipline yourself and your family to do it, even when you don't want to do it. It's like brushing your teeth, you still do it. And
Yep.
so that's really, I mean, until we get cities and agencies and chiefs to make it a normalized requirement, we really have to do it ourselves. So that's also why I put the last module is classes, like 6 classes you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to think about anything else. Of course, you have access to our whole library of classes, but just do these 6 of them, you know,
Yeah.
and start, giving yourself that discipline first. Um, so have you mentioned to your kids or to your husband about this course? This
I've definitely talked about it with John. I have not talked about it with Hudson, but I'm super excited. I know he's going to ask me so many questions, so I'm like, I'm waiting until I have
I
access to be
wish he
able to
was
like,
home right now. We should
I
do an interview
know.
with him. Oh my
Yes. Oh,
God,
he
can
would
we
love that
schedule that? Can we
for
schedule
sure.
it? I would
Yes.
absolutely love it. Okay.
Yes. Oh,
Have
yeah.
him do a little bit of sorry, my cat's right here and I have cat fur in my mouth. Awesome. Have him do some of the videos and then we will schedule time so we can interview him. Um, and full transparency, what was John's reaction when you said it to him?
Just like anything, like when I bring it up, he's like, okay, like, are we excited? Like, does this, and I think it's one of those things like he has to see it and feel the benefits of it for him to like be in on it. His mind, just to give you background on John, he is like, if it's not painful, if I'm not broken at the end of it, if I don't have some physical, basically like whiplash,
Yeah.
then it's like hard for him to see. But he did get into yoga with me when we moved to Sacramento, and he would go with me regularly, which was amazing. Um, and so I know once I start practicing it regularly and we're doing it as a family, and he sees, especially like he does love when he sees Hudson do it, like that is really good for him. Um, it's just like habit stacking a new thing again, right? Like we did this before, we just need to bring it back, and it's like part of our recovery routine, like we did before.
Well, luckily, um, especially with YFFR, we kick ass.
Yes.
But this is the thing is again the preconception is that okay, because they want to get their asses kicked so they're better firefighters and stuff like that, and they think of yoga as only the recovery.
Right.
I've got folks in a 2-point plank measuring their breath work.
That's
What
amazing.
I keep trying to tell people too, and what I would want to tell John is like, I can make your air bottle last for 2 hours.
That's sexy. Yes, let's lead with that.
Yes. Okay.
I need
Thank
to
you.
remember
You know what?
that.
I'm going to put a new video on there. It launches tomorrow, but I have time to add a new video. And
Yes.
I just want to say this to any spouse who is being dragged here, whatever. This is the thing I want to tell you. And we have proof of this. I have crazy quotes of people changing their, air management for the better. So it's not just recovery, it is proprioception, it's moving your body, it's air management, it is, not freaking out in a confined space. It's all of that
Yes.
stuff. So, so many people have said to me like, "Oh, maybe you should take the word yoga out, then there won't be that misconception." This is yoga.
Right.
You call it something else that like,
Yeah.
everyone who's misinterpreting yoga, you
Yeah.
change the name. But
Yeah.
this is actually yoga, you
Yeah.
know. So
I'm so excited, and that is a great way. And I mean, like everyone wants to last longer. So
yeah, I'm gonna literally, Amanda, I'm gonna film a video that I'm gonna be like, hey, real quick before we go into the formal intro,
yes.
just need to say that if you only have 30 seconds before your spouse runs out the door, like listen.
Yes.
But that's literally the first week is all about that. Why are we doing this? We
Yes.
do not hit the yoga mat at all until week 2, in the middle of week 2.
Wow, that's
Yep.
cool.
Because
Yeah.
everything is educational. Why are we doing this? What it is, what it's not.
And that's all the stuff Hudson's going to just eat up. He lives for the why mommy, why mommy, why mommy. So I'm so excited.
My plug, hold on, it's about to die. My phone, my computer. Um, stand by. So, well, I hope he enjoys my little kid version
Oh, he for sure will.
of the why.
Loves, he loves. And if he has questions, I have a direct, line
Exactly. He
to
can
ask
literally
you.
send me voice memos. I would
Exact. And he
die.
loves sending voice
Oh
messages.
my God.
So
I would die for his questions. That is going to be
yeah,
so fun. But then
yeah,
we should do an interview with Hudson and my daughter Aurelia, like together and be like,
yes. Oh my gosh,
oh
I
my
love
God.
kids talk back and forth. It's so cute.
It's gonna be great. So this is awesome. Okay, so this is great, but yes, so that's the week one is all like, why are we doing this? It's not hitting the mat just to like stretch or relax. This is really a tactical training for the inside, for your mind, for your nervous system, you know? Speaking of like transitions, after on a structure fire and they get pulled out and they're in rehab and new bottle, all that stuff, they're not given anything to do. So you're not really recovering, like you need to be slowing your breath down. You need to be counting your breath. You need to be processing stress hormones out of the joint so that you're fresh to go back in. So this is really what it is. It's a tool for all the missing space there that's causing the high statistics of stress-based health issues. So, yeah, so week one is why short videos, stick the computer in front of his face while he's brushing his teeth, say, just watch this, okay? All right. And if he really has no time, or depending on whoever's listening, depending on your spouse, maybe show them the kid video. Maybe that would be
Yes,
more appropriate.
yes,
It's like, hey, did you know that? Da, da, da.
yes.
And then week two is where we break down each section of the protocol. So it's based, YFFR is based on traditional hatha yoga. So breath work, the physical aspect, the meditative aspect, and then we also include cognitive behavioral techniques in there. So we break down why each one works and how to practice it. So that's when we start to introduce the practice. You do get on a mat about right in the middle of the week. And then the final week is just practice. Everything from things you can do in the morning into the evening, a daily routine, all of that. And then there's also digital downloads. I have breath work cards there you can do as
Love
a
that.
family. So the whole point is exactly what, we've been saying is we got to have a holistic approach to this for survivability and longevity, personally and with your family and professionally, you know um, and a shared language, something that, because even we talk about the transition off duty, but you as a family need to transition to have someone else home with you again. So you guys also need a buffer. And so this is sort of like this shared buffer where you can all be together in the same space. One of the videos for the week three training videos is getting in sync together. And after
Oh,
you've learned what a sun salutation is, which we teach it, you do five of them silently, but only hearing each other's breath and moving together with your breathing.
that's neat.
Literally gets your brain waves on the same page. You're energetically on the same page. So when you're done, you look at each other and we're like, okay, we're on this ride together now. Um, so that's the point. And you know what, Amanda, you're going to come back on. We're going to have Hudson on and you're going to
Yes,
tell me straight up, and kids are going to be real and we're going to see if it worked.
yes.
Once we come back and it's like, well, that didn't work. Let's try
Yep,
something else.
yep. Let's tweak this a little bit.
We're going
But
to tweak it.
and this is why, like, even though it's going to be a hard 10 days for John teaching this training, right? Now he's going to have more tools in his toolkit. And hopefully these are things that he can, add into his instructing for the
100.
10 days is like, hey, I've been doing yoga for first responders. Well, the next time he teaches it, I've been doing yoga for first responders. And this is something that I found if you are whatever in this scenario, here's a protocol you can follow. And those are the things that I try to think about when I'm like, this is going to be really hard. How am I going to get through? And I'm like, he is the person that is going to bring something like this that Olivia has created to those people in that class. And
Yeah.
it's going to impact so many other people. And yes, it is harder. And I'm not having toxic positivity, but I'm also reminded like, this is part of why I love this firefighter because he does these types of things and it's really cool. And, show the kids too, like your
It's
dad does this.
right. And well, that is continuing in the holistic picture. This is hard, but it's leading to this place. And so if we can all just get in this holistic mindset of the domino effect of how it affects you, and then also acknowledging the bigger purpose of it, I think we can keep the motivation.
Yeah.
But everything right now feels so compartmentalized, like dad's job, we're here, da 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 da. But if we can all see the webbing of it, and I really think, you probably know this, the word yoga translates to union, togetherness, oneness. And
Beautiful.
and the Om, which we don't chant in YFFR, but we know it exists, everyone knows it exists. Om is the sound of oneness. It's everything. And so basically, we're bringing the yoga, the union, back to the family
So
of
cool.
holistic life living. And that is the intention. So I brought this up in the first live call I did yesterday, but just as a reminder, like, okay, let's say you don't have a spouse. That's fine. You don't have kids. That's fine. I mean, this is a series, it's a course. You're even welcome to do it by yourself, but do it with your crew, do it with your chosen family, do it with your neighbors. It is just something for you to have a shared language with the people around you. So whoever that may be, they're welcome to join in on this course. So, um, by the time this comes out, we'll be done with week 1, but it's not too late to join. You can join anytime this course. It is live for everyone at any time. But for the month of December, now until the 22nd, we're kind of doing it as a community. So inside the course, there is like a community chat for everyone going through it.
Awesome.
I'm going to do live calls. I'm going to do prizes at the end because I can see who finishes the course. I can see on the back end. So there's
Yes.
prizes. And so it's just a way to like, come on, gang, let's do this. Let's keep it a habit. So it's so funny, like with kids, brushing the teeth and teaching potty and all of that stuff. They're not going to do it unless you say, hey, go and do this. And then eventually they can't not do it. Like we wouldn't think of shitting our pants now. Like we would, and on purpose. We, and so it's like that's what we have to get our spouses and us as a family is that hard part of, oh, I don't want to do it, but I am. I don't want to do it. I am going to do it until you can't live without it. So,
Exactly. It's literally like you are like missing it. Like I'm not complete in my wholeness of me without that part of it.
oh yeah. And I feel it when I don't do it. And if I don't do it for consecutive days, I'm a bitch. Like I'm just gonna like straight up say it.
Oh, for
And
sure.
but Eric and I, since we do this, okay, and this is the thing, like we have this shared language because we do this. And I will look at him and I'll say, I need to move my body. I need to go and breathe and move my body. And because he knows the value, because he does this with me, he says yes. He's not like he doesn't eye roll. What? You're gonna do yoga now? No, he
Right.
knows how important it is for our sustainability as a family. So I think that's important too, that you can say to him, I need 5 minutes to do some breath work. He can say to you, I need a 10-minute neuro reset before I come in hot to this family. You know,
Right.
and with when you guys understand that, you guys nod and be like, absolutely, please.
Yeah, for sure. The shared language is going to be huge to be able to have that for all of us. So I'm
I'm
so
so
excited.
Amanda, thank you for like being our family that we're going to sort of follow along with this. I'll
Yes.
schedule an interview with Hudson. I can't wait. Do you guys have a dog?
We don't. I can barely take care of my children,
I
so
I understand. I was going to say get the dog in on it. I have a dog and oh man, this is a whole episode on him. Our relationship is strained. My dog and me is what I'm talking about. It also strains my relationship with my husband too.
I'm
But he's this little dog. I'm not used to little dogs. He's barky, barky, barky. but Ray loves him. He's very attached to me, and I'm trying to think, okay, why did God send me this dog? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
anyway, he does take cute pictures, so I'll try to get a good picture of him doing
Yes.
yoga with us.
Everyone loves a good animal yoga, photo.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's the way to get views and
Yeah.
likes.
Yeah.
But I keep trying to put profound quotes out there on
No,
Instagram. No, they need the poodle. The poodle doing a down dog.
exactly. Yes. And
And a
then the
cute
quote somewhere in
better.
the caption is fine.
Exactly. Like subconsciously, like just.
Yes.
Well, this has been fun. Thank you for sharing your story, and we'll continue to check in and
Yeah.
see how it all goes.
I'm so grateful. Thank you for creating this for our community, and I can't wait to dive in with my family. Thank you, Olivia.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Hey, before we go, I want to remind you that training your mental and physical health is incredibly important, especially for those working in high-stress jobs like first responders.
And if you're interested in learning more about yoga for first responders, visit yogaforfirstresponders.org for our on-demand training app, online course platform, in-person training, and more.
Like this podcast, subscribe, and give us a great review. We are so happy to have you part of the YFFR mission.